first beers that I drank weren't particularly good ones. Mostly Miller High Life, out of my stolen from my grandfather's fridge at the cottage. Once I got to undergrad, I started looking for more sophisticated things, like things with higher alcohol that would get you drunk quicker. I mean, you had very simple needs as an undergrad. So I went to the beer store and I noticed these things in giant green plastic bottles. I thought that's kind of weird. I mean, that looks a little ghetto kind of, but and I'm a sophisticated guy who just wants to get drunk quickly. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. Holy cow, it's like 6.5% or 7%. That's crazy. Yeah, that'll do the trick. And I got it. And it was Wellington Iron Duke, which is a really, really good craft brewery. I know now, and I didn't really appreciate it. But then I opened it and poured a glass, and even I knew it was uncouth to drink out of a plastic bottle. We were sophisticated when we were getting drunk quickly, right? So, and I thought this is a lot different than that fizzy yellow stuff that I stole out of Poppy's fridge. This is very interesting. There's some interesting things going on.
I'm not exactly sure what it's like to be an underage drinker in Quebec right now, but in my day they had very draconian age of majority laws in Quebec. If you were tall enough to actually reach the counter with your money, you were old enough to drink. I was a tall lad, so I was the guy who went out to buy the beer. When I moved to Ontario when I was 15 years old and fell in with a certain crowd, and I was elected the guy to go to the LCBO and buy beer, and I was going, I've been buying beer since I was like 13. What's the big deal? It's buying beer. Just go in, you buy beer. And they said, no. It's the LCBO. You've got to go to this is when they still had those boards where you had to write down the number. And they said, you have to look like you know what you're doing. So I walked into the LCBO and I went exactly where they showed me I should go. And I found the right number and I wrote it down on the form and I went up and I bought the beer and I came out and they're all going, yeah, he did it. And I said, that is a stupid fucking system. At 15 years old, I knew this.
The first beer I ever drank, and the first beer I remember the most, and I even talk about it in my book, Brew North, is stale beer. And I think it's when I was a kid, like a lot of us, I started off with whatever beer was left in a bottle, left on the porch of the cottage. And you tip it up in your mouth, and there'd be this amazing bitter taste. And I loved that bitter taste. But with my parents, you also had to worry, though, because you had to grit your teeth, because they put cigarette butts into the bottles as well. So, but I loved that flavor. I thought, boy, this is really, really good. But the thing is, for the rest of my life, I've been seeking that bitterness that you get out of a stale bottle of O'Keeffe's left on a porch.